Alive into this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Loved and pride, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Off the mirrors and pit, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and rain in the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose. In paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom, yes it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Excuse me. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today it is Tuesday, the day after Christmas, and I hope everybody's doing good. I'm still trying to get over this cold, the sickness that I've had, or the sinus infection I've had for over a week, but had my basketball camp last week, so I didn't get a chance to just stay healthy. Plus, I was around 20-something germ carriers, and you know how that is around kids, how they are. So, anyway, this is where I'm at today. I'm just trying to do something. I just ordered some food. That's why we came on late. I wanted my food to get here first because I figured it would be delivered right in the middle of me doing the show. So that's why we are on a little bit late today. But we're just going to kind of go over some stuff that happened this weekend, starting with the Thunder. The Thunder lost against the Lakers. And, of course, we beat the Clippers on Thursday, then lose to the Lakers on Saturday, which, of course, we kind of figured that we thought they would do. The Lakers, of course, came in here and just took care of business with us. There wasn't a lot that we could do to stop them. LeBron was just absolutely magnificent with 40 points. He was a man among boys without question. There was not a lot that we could do. There wasn't anything to do with him. Okay, there wasn't anything. Sorry, guys. I'll be coughing a little bit. But anyway, the Lakers took care of business 129 to 120 over the Thunder. Lakers improving to, so they're now 16-14 after losing to the Mavs yesterday on Christmas Day. The Thunder, however, are 18-9 and still just rolling. The Lakers were 13 for 41 from three. The Thunder were, excuse me, 16 of 32 from three. 48% from the field for us, 52 for them. 44 rebounds to 42. Pips, points in the paint. The Thunder were 51, of course, won that battle as we usually do. We each had 9 turnovers, and it's surprising that we didn't turn the Lakers over more because we're the number one team as far as that's concerned, and so we didn't turn them over enough. I didn't think. I think we averaged 17 turnovers a game that we forced teams into, or 16. Lakers outscoring us, our bench 47-26, which has a lot to do with who we have in the game and what's going on. And when you can look at our shooting stats, this will kind of give you a good idea of what happened. Chet, 34 minutes, 8 for 18, 1 for 6 from 3, 2 for 5 with 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. A nice night. 19, 10, and 3. We're going to take that all day long. J-Dub, 34 minutes, 11 for 17, 2 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, only 1 turnover, which was good for 28 points. And then SGA, 38 minutes, 12 for 21, 1 for 5 from 3, 9 for 10 from the line, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 3 turnovers, for 34 points. And then, of course, Lou Dort, 30 minutes, 3 for 9, 2 for 6. He had a typical Lou Dort game. I don't like him shooting that many times. I just don't. When he's that inefficient, I think he should not play a whole lot. I mean, this coach is never going to tell him not to shoot. I can promise you that. This coaching staff is not going to do that. Cason Wallace, 24 minutes, 2 for 6, 1 for 4. Once again, struggling in a starting role. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Not bad game, but, he's got to make shots. He had a bunch of open looks that he did make, but a lot of it is, again, he's got to get in that routine of starting instead of coming off the bench. Jay Will, once again, only 6 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 1, 2 rebounds. I just don't get it. I really don't. And then Jang plays more minutes than him. It's unbelievable. 2 for 3, 1 for 2, uh, 5 points. Davis Bertan, 10 minutes. We needed somebody to shoot the ball. That's why he was in there, and he went 1 for 2. But everybody knows when he gets in the game, they're going to put a body on him and not let him get a good look at the baskets. Kendricks Williams, 23 minutes, 4 for 6. I thought Kendricks played really good. 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 points. I thought he played really, really good. Sar, 3 minutes. Isaiah Joe, 20 minutes. 3 for 11, 1 for 6, continues to struggle. And I'm just saying, if he's not going to shoot the ball, he shouldn't be playing. And then Aaron Wiggins, 6 minutes. How the hell is Jang playing more minutes than Aaron Wiggins when you need stops? I don't get, other than the fact that I know the Bertans played simply because we needed somebody to score. And Jang, how are you going to play him over those guys? I just don't understand, and you're not going to get me to understand because I'm watching with my eyes. I'm not listening to your nonsense coming out of your mouth, Coach. Not listening to it. I can see from my own eyes what we are with and without him on the court. But you are determined because you are a developer of players. You're going to continue to develop him, and that's what we are. We're a developmental team. And as somebody said once when they were arguing with me about the new proposal, Jim, the guy goes, because all we are is a developmental team for other teams, the other team. Anyway, all we do is we develop players and then send them off. And I started laughing. I was like, no, excuse me, I'm sorry. He says, we're just a developmental team. That's all we are. We're like a G League team. We develop our players for other teams. And I looked at him, I was like, he goes, well, look, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell, we don't count him, Reggie Jackson, Sabonis, you can go on down the list. That's about it, really, who are dominant players. But I was like, man, I don't really have an argument for you right there because those are all very true statements that you have just made. So there's not a lot of argument I could give him there. And you look at it now, I mean, I've been saying all along this whole year that the Thunder are trying to promote J-Dub over SGA. That every time you turn around on all the Thunder promotion, on Oklahoma City Thunder, J-Dub's first guy, J-Dub, 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 J-Dub. And you can see it in his deal, him trying to take over, and SGA comes looking for the ball. He just takes the ball anyway, doesn't even try to pass him the ball. And no other team would allow that to happen, but the Thunder do. Because I believe, and I've said this before, that the Thunder believe that J-Dub is the same level as SGA because that's what the coach thinks. And I believe that's what, I'm not going to say something, but that's exactly what I heard the other night, is that the Thunder coaching staff and administration believe J-Dub is on the same level or will be on the same level as SGA. And I'm like, you're high. What the hell are you looking at? Clearly, y'all don't know anything about basketball. Y'all are terrible judges of talent if you think that. He is a very decent player. He's going to be a good player. Is he going to be an all-star? No. I don't see that. Then where SGA is gone, is he going to put up some numbers? Yes, but not consistent numbers that are going to make us win. And yet, instead of you putting him in his place, which is what you should do, you're trying to elevate him, which is what you're doing. And that's what I've said before. And to me, you want more draft picks? Go ahead and trade SGA. There's a bunch of teams that'll take him and give you all the picks they can get the guy. You have an all-NBA, first-team all-NBA type player that you don't promote and you don't give him the ball, you don't run plays for him, and you sit him out for 7 and 8 minutes and you're minutes managing him. I mean, you're almost taking away the value of the guy and making him less important. And it's all about the team, not about a player. Well, this is the NBA. It's not football. NFL football is about the team and then the player. The NBA is about the player and then the team. Now, your fault, Thunder, that you chose Russell Westbrook over Kevin Durant. That's your fault. You did that. But once again, the Thunder are about players they develop. They don't consider or trade or drafted. They don't consider Kevin Durant a player they drafted because even though the administration and the ownership was the same, Kevin Durant is a Seattle Supersonic, not a Thunder. Russell Westbrook was the first Thunder draft pick, and the Thunder are reminding me of Jerry Jones. That's what this Thunder team is reminding me of the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, look at what we're doing. We're developing these players. We're drafting these players. It's what the Thunder are reminding me of. They really are. They're reminding me of the Dallas Cowboys. They should have traded for somebody at the deadline to get a running back like Derrick Henry, but no, we did. This is who we draft. We draft well. Well, that's cool. But sometimes you got to trade for players to get the right players to fit what you already have had in draft. Sam Presti has drafted really well in the last couple of years. Now, has he drafted well overall? He had a strong. He was terrible in the middle, and now he's back doing good here at the end. But he was terrible there for a long time. We can go down the list. You don't have to listen. I'm not trying to beat Sam Presti up because I think he's a genius. I think he's great. But as far as Oklahoma City Thunder staff, as far as evaluating talent, eh, that goes to show you. Now, we do have Josh, yes. You do have J-Dub, yes. You do have Chet, yes. You have Jay Will, who you don't play. Aaron Wiggins, who's pretty good. So, yes, do you get guys? But like our guy Nathan Taylor said, the Thunder are very good at drafting 1 through 6 in the lottery. You got Kevin Durant, you got James Harden, you got Russell Westbrook, and you got Chet. So those were your lottery picks. So you've done really well in the lottery. After that, you picked up J-Dub, really? Yeah, kind of, but that's really about it. Okay? So, I mean, we can break it down for you. I mean, there's no, the stats are there. We can go back and look and tell you that. And, we may do that one show or something where we go through and we break it down. But my problem is, as I've said since the very beginning, you are causing the Thunder to do this team to be where it is because of your coach. He's not the guy. He's great at developing players, and he's still trying to develop this team, and we're trying to win. Like, I need to go back, and I'm going to find that Sports Illustrated article that talked about that. Talking about that Chet and SGA are ready to win now, but the Thunder management and coaching staff aren't. They're still in developmental mode. The guy from the Athletic said that he believes that this guy, the question is, can this guy coach all-stars? Can this guy, because he's a developer, there's no question he's a great developer of talent. That's not even up for discussion. He is amazing. But now that we're developed, what's he going to do now? That's the question. That's where we're at. What's he going to do now that he's got a team? And it's clear. You're playing Jang. What the hell are you playing him for? He's not ready. And no matter how, you can come up with all kinds of nonsense you want to, but I can look at the thing. You can look at when he's on the court and what happens. You can look at it. He can't play. The fans even know he can't play, but you are determined to develop this guy. That's because you gave up 3 first-round picks for him. So the Thunder people are determined to develop a guy, and he's a project. He is just a project. No question. He's a project. And no matter how you look at it, he is a project. He is a year or 2 years away, easy, if he ever develops into that. But the question is, why are you wasting the talent that you have now, the ability to win now, on projects? We're not in developmentally, but all I hear from our coaches, our team. No, we're SGA. Now you're kind of adding Chet and everybody else. That's what you are. You're SGA 1 and Chet. Then you're J-Dub at the end. And the reason why Chet has elevated his game, and you can go back and look at the very beginning of the year, after he and SGA clicked, because Chet went to him, and you could just tell that Chet made the effort, like, screw the coach, screw the administration. I'm going after SGA. You the man, I'm with you. And Chet's game and SGA has blossomed since then, and the Thunder have been on the rise. Because they get it. Chet gets it. The Thunder coaches don't. Coaches administration don't get it. They don't. The hell you can think SGA and J-Dub are even closely together on any level is insane. But when you're a coach or you're an administration and that's what the head guy thinks, then yeah, y'all all think that. That's a bunch of crap. And Sam Presti, that is beneath you. If you think that J-Dub is on the same level as SGA, I can't see it. Now, could I be wrong? Yes. Am I going to be wrong? I doubt it. You can look at the guy, and he's, he had 28 the other night, and then he might have 12 or 14 tonight, 10 tomorrow night. He is up and down, up and down. He is not that guy. He doesn't even pass this shit. Shit comes looking for the ball. He just takes off and, I'm going to go score. I can do this myself because the coaching staff allows that. No other superstar gets treated the way SGA does. And to me, if you're going to treat him like that, screw it. Trade him. If you think this guy is the dude, trade SGA and go make J-Dub the man and see what the hell Oklahoma City does. See if they're ranked where they are. Just do it. If you really think that, then go ahead and trade him. And guess what you will be? You'll be the laughingstock of the league. You're trying to develop a guy so that you can get rid of SGA because you don't want to pay him. That's what someone told me the other night. I said, the Thunder are well under the cap. And he goes, I said, listen, you ain't got to pay SGA for 3 more years. Next year, you got to pay Josh if he's still around. Poku, you ain't going to pay him, let's face it. You're not going to pay a Wiggins. Not really. You ain't got a lot to pay him. So the only person you got coming up is in 2 years, you got to pay J-Dub and Chet. You ain't really got to pay J-Dub, J-Will, so you really got to pay him. Then after that, you got to pay SGA. Then you got to pay Kaysen, but Kaysen ain't going to get, 30, 40 million a year. He ain't there. So, that's why I said that is a non-starter when it comes to that as far as what your salary cap is, and the Thunder have enough money to do that if that's what they choose. So, to me, that's just a bunch of nonsense. They have the money. They could do it if they choose to. I just don't believe they will. I believe the Thunder think, and I've said this all along, that J-Dub they can replace SGA with J-Dub. They don't treat SGA the way that his status deserves him to be treated. He is not treated like a first-team All-NBA player. It's not what he's treated like. For whatever the reason, the Thunder coaching staff and administration, that's what they think. And when someone told me that and I heard that, I was like, they think what? And he goes, yeah, that's what I was told. That's what they think. I was like, how the hell can you think that? How do they think that? No way. No way. And I've told several people that this is what someone told me that the Thunder coaching staff thinks, and every single person I told them started laughing. I go, no, that's why you think that J-Dub is acting the way he's acting, because the coaches allow him to think he can disrespect and blow off SGA, but don't do it so publicly when he comes against the ball. But you can watch him. SGA will run up like for the ball. He'll just take off and go to the basket. It's funny to me. It's like, dude, y'all don't get it. Y'all really don't get it. So it's going to be a short show today. Everybody's getting ready for the game tonight. The Thunder, let's talk about their schedule. We do have, these next 6 games that we've talked about ad nauseum. I don't know if it's ad nauseum, but we've talked about these next 6 games and what it's going to mean for the Thunder. They have a huge game tonight against the Timberwolves, who are in the league, who are leading the league right now. But here's the Thunder schedule. Excuse me a second. Hold up. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to blow it right there in front of everybody and right there loud. But anyway, here at the Thunder, we beat the Clippers, which everybody thought we would. We lost to the Lakers, which, as a consensus, myself, Drew, Nathan, and High Stick Harry all believe that we would lose to the Lakers because we don't match up with them, even though they have not been winning. We all believe that, excuse me, that was a matchup nightmare for us, and LeBron had 40, which is, he was LeBron, old LeBron. T-Wolves tonight, Knicks tomorrow night on back-to-back, and then, of course, the Nuggets. So, T-Wolves, Knicks, Nuggets, we don't match up really well with any of these 3 teams at all, especially the Knicks. They had a big win yesterday, and you got to give congratulations to them. And we'll go over that here in just a minute. But they had a big win yesterday on Christmas, and then the Nuggets, of course, have to go back there to Denver, to the Pepsi Center. Of course, they definitely won us after what we did to them. So, which after yesterday, here are the standings for the Western Conference. The T-Wolves are now 20-6, losers of one in their last game, and of course we have them tonight, and they'll be trying to stop their losing skid. The Nuggets 22-10, 2 games back, winners of their last 5, so they're on a roll. The Thunder 18-9, 3.5 games back. Excuse me. Losers of the last one against the Lakers. Then, of course, the Kings, 17-11, losers of their last one. So we just don't match up well with them at all. But anyway, Mavericks 18-12, winners of the last 2. Luka was just crazy last night. His stat line last night, when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, I had to read it again because I can't believe his stat line. 50 points, 15 assists, 8 3-pointers made, 8 plus, 3 blocks, 3 steals. He was 60% from the field, 50% from three, and 100% from the line. 12 for 12 from the free throw line. But let's think about that. 60% from the field, 50% from three, and 100% from the line. That was Luka's stat last night. I mean, he was just absolutely incredible against the Suns last night. What a player he is. But once again, you got a coach who understands, and they're playing really well without Kyrie. Well, once again, you got a coach who understands who his best player is and puts everybody in their place to make them succeed. Our coach doesn't get that. Our coach believes that J-Dub is the best player because he's developing him. Well, you go ahead and you keep developing him. Ridiculous. Clippers, 17-12, losers of the last two. Pelicans, 17-13, losers of the last one. Rockets, winners of the last two. So when you look at the winners of their last games, you got the Nuggets on a 5-game, Mavs on a 2-game, and the Rockets, who are a scary, scary team, are winners of their last two at 15-12, and nobody expected them to be where they are. But once again, you get the right coach, add the right pieces, and this is what you get out of that. NBA scores yesterday. The Bucks, of course, lost to the Knicks last night behind Jalen Brunson, who was just magnificent last night. Scored at the end to beat the Bucks down the stretch. Nuggets 120 over the Warriors. The Warriors losing once again. Shocker. They're just, I mean, they're an aging team about to go away. Is what that is. The Celtics beat the Lakers 126, 150. I mean, the Celtics beat the Lakers 126 115. I was watching that game last night. I think the Lakers gave everything they had to beat us. That's what I think. The Celtics are just too strong, too big, too long for them to have anything to do with it. Then, of course, the Heat beat the Sixers, but that was without Joel Embiid, and they only beat by 6 in Miami on Christmas Day. And then the Mavericks, like I said, took care of the Suns because he was an absolute monster yesterday. He really, really was. Luka is a beast, and everybody knows that. Here, let me fix this so we can see what the games are today. You have the Pistons, the Nets at the Pistons, the Magic at the Wizards. Sorry, people. Man, they got this congestion is breaking up now. You know how it is when all the stuff gets in your chest and you're trying to cough it up. It's just disgusting. Hawks at the Bulls. T-Wolves, of course, at the Thunder tonight. They're in Thunderdome. Jazz at the Spurs. I'm pretty sure I won't be watching that. Grizzlies at the Pelicans, Pacers, Rockets, Kings, Blazers, and then, of course, Hornets, Clippers. Now, the Pacers, Rockets, that ought to be a pretty good game, I think, because when I look at my power rankings, I have the Celtics 1, the T-Wolves 2, the Sixers 3, the Bucks 4, the Nuggets 5, Thunder 6, Magic 7, the Mavs 8, Lakers 9, and Pacers 10. And everybody says, why do you do that? I mean, the Lakers, blah, 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 beat the Thunder. Yeah, but I still think that we're a better team. And then once our coach figures out his normal thing, but once he does, once again, he loses games in the second and fourth quarter. The biggest issues that we have as a team are the second and fourth quarters. SGA does not start those. He plays the whole first and he plays the whole third. It's the second quarter that gets us every time, and it's because this guy sits SGA for 7 minutes. At 7-minute mark, he will put in Jay Will. He'll put in Isaiah Joe. He will put in Lou Dort. He will put in Casey. He'll put in anybody but SGA. He keeps his best player, who like the other night, he was Lakers. He was rolling. He had 12 points at the end of the first quarter. And then you sit him for 6 minutes. It's just, this guy is stuck on, he is the minutes manager. So he is. He's a developmental coach. This is, once again, I'm going to say this over and over there, this is not the damn G League. Your best player should be playing 40 minutes in 50-50 games. But you play him 36. Well, I'm playing him 38. It's the 38 that you play him. Those 2-3 minutes that you don't play him in the second quarter determine outcomes. He gives away possessions. And all I'm saying all day long is I'm going to tell you over and over and over. All you have to do is pay attention to what I'm saying. You watch the second quarter and you watch the fourth quarter without SGA on the court. And you see the struggles. Now, in the fourth quarter, the Thunder, I thought that the game was over. The Thunder came back and they made a nice little run, and it was great that we made a run to come back in the game. But that being said, look at what I am saying and see if I'm right or wrong. That's all I'm asking. Watch his substitution pattern. See who has on the court. Watch what the score is when he puts him in the game, and watch what the score is when he comes out. That's all I ask you. Watch the flow of the game. That's all I'm asking you to do. And then tell me if I'm wrong. You can't. You know why you can't? Because I'm not. I'm right. And all I'm telling you is this guy is not the guy to get us where we need to go. Because he is stuck on, this is how I'm going to coach. Kind of like Billy Donovan was. And he's changed his since he got to the league. I wish we'd have got Billy Donovan after he had went to the Bulls and then came to the Thunder. Because then we probably still would have had Kevin Durant. But he is stuck on, this is my team, this is how I'm going to coach. Well, when you have superstars, the NBA is not like baseball, it's not like football. When you have an NBA, when you have a superstar, you have to cater to your superstar. And the Thunder won't do that again because of the way Russell Westbrook was. All I'm saying is, you can still, SGA is not Russell. He's not an arrogant ass like this guy. He's just not. He's not. So you can handle him differently. He's not going to say, well, this is where I'm hotel I'm going to stay in, and we're going to spend the night here because I want to stay here because blah, blah, blah. Some girl, whatever it is, reason that he has, that he wants to spend the night in a certain city and then leave the next day instead of leaving that night. Because that's what he wants. So you had to cater to him, and I see that. But all I'm saying now is you don't have that superstar like that. SGA is the man. Treat him like it. Give him the respect that he's earned as first-team All-NBA. Because I promise you, he's not going to make first-team All-NBA again this year because the coaching staff. Even though they don't promote the fact that what? He's the only player in history, one of 3 players in history to average 30 and shoot 50%. He's one of 2 players ever to average 30 points and 2.6 steals or better in the history of the game for the first 20-something games. It's only been 2. Thunder don't promote that. They promote J-Dub. They show pictures of J-Dub. They don't show that. It's like, what are you doing? You got your coach trying to put a guy who's not even an all-star on the same level who's a guy's first team. You're not playing the guy who's first-team All-NBA like a first-team All-NBA player. He should be playing 40 minutes against the Clippers, against the Lakers, against the Nuggets, against the T-Wolves, against the Kings, against the Jazz, against the Bucks, against the Sixers, against the Celtics, against the Pacers. Those are the teams I can think of just top of my the Warriors. Those are 10 teams right now off the top of my head. I go, he should be playing 40 minutes at least. And they're spread out enough that, he's young enough. He's only 25. He can play 40 minutes easy. Just then you rest him against like tomorrow night. Tonight he's got to go 40. He'll go 36-38, just like he always does. Tomorrow night against the Knicks, 36-38. He's going to play him that amount. It's a long season. I get that. But then, there's quarter games he don't play. The fourth quarter was the other night against, who was it? We played the Jazz, who it was. He had 30 points and didn't play the fourth quarter. So there's games you can sit him and he can rest. There's tons of games that you can do that. But this sitting him for 7 minutes, and this guy clearly was not any good player. When a player's rolling, you don't sit him for 7 minutes. You sit him for 4 or 5 minutes and give him some rest. That's what you do. You don't sit him for 7 minutes and a quarter. If he has 12 and he's rolling at the end of the first quarter, you sit him for 3 or 4 minutes in the second quarter, boom, get him in the game because he still get his rhythm. Yeah, you sit him and wait till he's cold, then put him in the game. You're icing your own player. The question is, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? In the fourth quarter, he doesn't do that because if the game's in the bottom, boom, 7, 8 minutes, he puts him in there. Well, why aren't you doing it in the second quarter? The quarter that you lose because you're losing possessions, that's what happens. Oh, frustrating as hell. Let's go ahead and take a break to thank our sponsors. Collaborative Logic, appreciate everything they do for us, keeping us up and running. If you have any needs for computers, software, the personalized software to make your office run smoother, they are the people to talk to. If you have any needs for website design, contact my guy Russell Williford and the boys over at Collaborative Logic. SRB, if you have any needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, call my guy Mark Long over at SRB. They love to be behind the scenes. So hit my boy up over there. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro. If you have any needs for trucking, as in dirt, rocks, or sand or anything like that to be moved, holler at my guy Jose Fierro. He is the dude that can get that stuff done for you. Greg and Max Nafy for supporting me as they always do. Appreciate those guys. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They are an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud fund sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. And oh my God, in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into any of their locations and see them if there are 5 locations. The main bank located at 401 Elm in downtown Yukon, YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway, YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road, YNB Peoples, which is in Bethany, off 23rd between MacArthur and Rockwell, and then of course YNB Parkway, Garth Brooks Boulevard, just south of I-40, right there, right in front of the hospital. Can't miss it over there. So go ahead and see my people in any of those. And then Drew Hinthorn over at DT Construction and Consulting. They can do roofing. They can do remodeling. They can do painting. Whatever it is that you want to do to spruce your house up and make it better. They can do landscaping. Whatever it is that you need. Contact DT Construction and Consulting, 405-209-4051. DT Construction 2015 at Outlook. Respectful, local, and loyal. Drew will answer the phone when you call. Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, our latest sponsor, 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, America. 405-670-2424. Hit our guys up there over at Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency. They're open Monday through Thursdays, 9 to 5. Fridays, 9 to 1. Closed Saturdays and Sundays, proudly serving the Mid-Dale area since 1982. So, I tell you what, in football yesterday, let's talk about we'll talk about the Big 12 last. Let's talk about the NFL. Because when you look at the NFL and you look at look at the NFL scores and what happened, because we had a big weekend for NFL. You had the Bengals and the Steelers. The Steelers needed to get a W, and they did over the Bengals, 34-11. The Bengals quarterback finally came down to earth, finally had a bad game. And then, of course, Mason Rudolph, OSU product, played well. I don't know why they had Mitch Trubisky in front of him. But, Mason Rudolph, we were crying for him to play, or begging for him to play, and he did good, led the Steelers to a victory, because I doubt if Trubisky would have been in there that would have happened. The Bills and the Chargers, the Bills had to barely beat the Chargers. I mean, just talk about how good the Bills are. You barely beat the Chargers. Barely beat the Chargers in the backup. On the road, though, that wasn't so far, so it was on the road, so we'll cut the Bills some slack, because anytime you get a road W, is a road W. And then, of course, the Commanders losing to the Jets. And, of course, Woody Johnson saying that he's going to keep the management team in place and the coaching staff, which, of course, he should, because Brett Favre wants them. And then on top of that, can you really judge a coaching staff when you had a quarterback for 4 plays? I don't really think you can. I just don't. Lions and Vikings. The Lions took care of the Vikings. I believe they closed out, and they are now division champions. So congratulations to the Lions for handling their business and beating the the Vikings in Minnesota. Browns and Texans. Without C.J. Stroud, the Texans are just not the same team. But the Browns, they look really, really good for Joe Flacco. But of course, let's face it, Joe Flacco, nobody expects him to come in and do anything, and he has. He's played really, really well. So hats off to the old man for coming off the couch and being ready to play. Packers and the Panthers. The Packers took care of business over the Panthers. The lowly Panthers. Packers took care of business, though. You still got to win. No matter how bad the team is, you ask the Chiefs. They couldn't take care of business over the team that they played, giving up Well, we'll get to the Chiefs game here in a minute. Seahawks 20-17 over the Titans. Colts, Falcons 28-10. Jaguars, the Buccaneers. Hey, Baker Mayfield, handle your business, big boy. And then, of course, the big news: Trevor Lawrence. We don't know if he's going to be able to finish out the year. He strained his ACL joint. I believe it's what they said. So we'll see if he can come back and be able to do anything with that. Cowboys and the Dolphins. Cowboys led for 4 minutes, but they lost the ball. I mean, the first giving the ball to the fullback in the first drive. I think if they get that drive, they may have a chance to beat the Dolphins. But fumbling on the 4-yard line, running a play for a guy who's not used to handling the ball in that situation. Once again, Cowboys, if they can find a way to lose, they do. Cardinals and the Bears. Bears took care of business. What did a lot of people say in Chicago? They need Marvin Harrison Jr. They need to keep Justin Fields, and I agree with that. I don't see any reason why they would not take. I mean, Caleb Williams doesn't want to go there anyway, so I would agree with them. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. They need somebody to throw the ball to, but I think they need an offensive coordinator and a coach that can coach offense and give to Justin Fields strengths. That's what I believe. I think Eberflus is not the dude. Broncos beating the Patriots 28-20. Broncos handling their business, and they need to. Chiefs lose. The Broncos are still in it 23-20. Broncos are still in it. Is that right? I thought that the Broncos lost, but I thought they lost to the Patriots yesterday. I think that has to be wrong. I think that they lost to them for whatever yesterday. I don't think they beat them yesterday, did they? Let me see. Yeah, the Patriots won 26-23. Okay, I thought the Patriots beat the Broncos yesterday. 26-23. Patriots won. Raiders and the Chiefs. Raiders scored 14 points off the offense. Fumble recovery for a touchdown and a pick six. So Patrick Mahomes was responsible for 14 points. The Raiders did not throw a pass the second half and beat the Chiefs, but that's 14 points. Once again, the Chiefs defense only giving up 6. Unbelievable. Don't turn the ball over, Chiefs. All you got to do, don't turn the ball over. But I think Mahomes is running for his life. He's pressing so hard that he's just trying to do too much. That's why I believe. But they can't catch the ball. They can't get open. But once again, it goes back to the beginning of the year with Chris Jones holding out. Chris Jones don't hold out. They probably signed DeAndre Hopkins. But because he held out, that kind of screwed that. So Chris Jones really screwed the Chiefs by not for holding out and not taking the contract. Once again, that was his agents, and the Chiefs never, ever recovered from that. Giants and Eagles. Eagles dominated the Giants, but the Giants came back and almost won. So the Eagles are just, they can't stop a cold. The defense, they can't stop a cold. That's for sure. And then, of course, the Ravens just beat up on the poor Niners. Once again, Brock Purdy to me is not the NFL MVP. He's not the best player on their team. And I'm so tired of all the people doing stuff like this. It's like, to me, it's just, I don't get how these so-called reporters and whatever, it's like Brock Purdy is not the guy. The NFL player should be the best player in the league. The best player on their team is Christian McCaffrey. Because I believe you can take Brock Purdy out and still be competitive. If you take Christian McCaffrey out, if you take Kittle out, if you take Williams out, you take any of those guys out, Ayuk, or whatever, they're done. This guy is not going to elevate anybody. And then for them to show the stat when trading in the second half, what his stat line is. How the hell are you even considered to be MVP if your stat line is that bad at trading in the second half? All that says is you're a great front runner. You can't bring anybody back. And think about this, MVP versus wannabe MVP. Patrick Mahomes is the only guy in the history of the NFL to have a winning record after being down double digits in a game. The only player in history. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you want this guy to compare to that guy. It's dumb. I just don't understand it at all. It's just, to me, it's a travesty. It's a joke. Let's get to some more football. Let's try to be nice. We're gonna get back to college now. We're gonna be trying to be nice to people. In the Big 12, Georgia Tech beat UCF Friday night at the Union Home Mortgage Bowl this past Friday, and of course tonight, Kansas against UNLV in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Kansas is minus 11.5 point favorites, over and under 64.5. I should have went and checked these. Tomorrow I'm going to go back and check and see if these lines have changed, which I'm sure they probably have. Then, of course, tomorrow night, Oklahoma State plays in the Duke's Mayo Bowl West Virginia plays tomorrow night in the Duke's Mayo Bowl against North Carolina. West Virginia minus 3.5 point favorites, 57.5 is over under. The game is at 4:30 tomorrow on ESPN, 8 o'clock tonight, which of course I won't be watching because I'll be watching the Thunder game, and then of course tomorrow night Texas A&M at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State plus 4.5, over under 53.5, 8 p.m. start tomorrow night, and I'll be at Thunderdome, so I'll be watching the Thunder play and watching the OSU game at the same time. The Thunder have a game against the Knicks, as we talked about on the show earlier. So Thursday, the Pop-Tarts Bowl, North Carolina State at Kansas State. The Valero Alamo Bowl, of course, is Thursday night as well. OSU and Arizona. OU is plus 3.5 underdogs. Kansas State are minus 5.5. They've got the minus 5.5 there. Then, of course, Friday, the Liberty Bowl, Memphis at Iowa State. Iowa State 7.5 point favorites. And then Monday night is when everything happens. The All-State Sugar Bowl, Texas against Washington. Washington's are favored by 4, so we'll see what happens in that. So it ought to be a really good deal. And then, of course, that's when football starts. Friday, also the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Missouri versus Ohio State. Saturday, what is that? The Chick-fil-A Bowl, Peach Bowl, Ole Miss at Penn State, and Ohio State is minus 4.5 point favorites over Michigan. Penn State are plus 10.5. So Ole Miss are the favorites in there, which is a shocker. Georgia at Florida State. Oh, man, that's going to be a good game right there. I won't be that good. Florida State's playing their third-string quarterback. Georgia's coming off a loss, so they should take care of business, but it's going to be beautiful down there in Miami. Hopefully my boy Aria is going to go check out the game. Minus 3.5, over under 55.5, Florida State. I don't know how they're favored over Georgia. That's got to be plus 3.5, not minus. That's got to be plus. The Fiesta Bowl, Liberty and Oregon, which all the OU fans are really pissed off about. Liberty, Oregon minus 4.5. That's all. You would think that I'm definitely got to check these tomorrow before I do the show again, so we can see what the actual rates are at that point. And then, of course, like I said, Texas and Washington, and then Alabama versus Michigan Monday night. And the beautiful thing about this time of year for me, this means basketball season is here. And the Big 12 season is starting. So for me, cannot wait so I can go watch the Cowboys play. And in fact, they play tomorrow night. Football plays tomorrow night. And then, of course, there's some basketball coming in, which is going to be conflicts with Thunder. So that's going to kind of mess me up. Thunder, Oklahoma State. So we shall see how that works. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of my meds right here. And I'm going to go back to bed and get some rest for a couple of hours before the Thunder game tonight so I can watch it, so I can start feeling better. So this weather up and down has just got me. And, of course, I would be feeling better had I not had my basketball camp last week, taking care of these kids. That being said, hey, everybody have a great day out there. Be safe. Stay warm.